So today we're looking at leadership in marriage, and our agenda is why leadership in marriage. One of the most misunderstood topic that I've ever come across is leadership. A lot of people have equated leadership, to title, leadership to position, leadership to so many things. And one of the icebreakers that I give when I teach corporate organizations, even at the C-level leadership, it's a question that I've been wanting not to ask in a Christian environment because it messes up everything by people think that they know about leadership. Okay, so tonight we're going to see how why leadership is important, what leadership is, and why leadership. So we're going to be understanding leadership, what leadership is in marriage. So we're going to be looking at leadership and connection. All right. So we are here to connect. It is said that everybody communicates, but only few connect. So if we are here, all you are doing is communicating and you are not connecting, very likely you'll stay here longer than necessary. So it's important to know, how to connect with people. All right. And I mean, like Pastor Shiju said, one of the best way to connect with people is respect. Okay. And we're going to see that, as we continue, then we conclude. So why leadership in marriage? All right. The Bible says, that wisdom is the principal thing. Okay. Therefore, get wisdom. But it says, in all thy getting, get understanding. Okay. As far as I'm concerned, understanding is the why of wisdom that you cannot resist. So when you have understanding, there is nothing that can stop you from, implementing the thing that you understand. Okay. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. But in all that you're getting, get understanding. So what is wisdom? Okay. I like the way Ephesians 5:15 to 17 NLT describe wisdom. He said, be careful, okay, how you live. Don't live like fools, but like those who are wise. He says, make the most of every opportunity in these evil days. Don't act thoughtlessly, but understand what the Lord wants you to do. So what the Lord wants us to do in every situation is wisdom, and understanding is the why God wants us to do it that we cannot resist. All right. So tonight we're going to be looking at why marriage, why leadership in marriage. So it's an understanding of leadership, okay, that will also, compel us, to act and put this to practice. That's what we're looking at. Psalm 119 verse 34 said, give me understanding and shall keep all thy law. So what we are saying is that when we have understanding, okay, you must obey, you must do it. With understanding, okay, you must do it. All right. So we're starting with why leadership. Okay. Why leadership in marriage? It is said that your leadership ability determines a person's level of effectiveness. Okay. The result that you get in life, the result you get in marriage, whether you are a man or a woman, okay, is a function of your leadership ability. So your leadership ability determines, okay, your level of effectiveness, how effective you are. The result you get is a function of your leadership ability. Whether you are a man or a woman, it doesn't matter. Your result you are going to get is a function of your leadership ability. This is a quote from John Maxwell. He says, success is within the reach of just about everyone. Everyone can be successful, but personal success without leadership ability brings only limited effectiveness. Personal success without leadership brings about limited results. Without leadership ability, a person's impact is only a fraction of what it could be with good leadership. The higher you want to climb, the more, okay, leadership that you will need. All right. And the greater the impact you want to make, the greater the influence you need to be. Whatever you want to accomplish is restricted by your ability to lead others. Everything you want to accomplish, okay, is limited by your ability to lead others. So tonight we're talking about the ability of the woman to lead the man, and the ability of the man to lead the woman. I'm sure somebody is already asking, can a woman lead a man in a marriage? Okay. And that shows that you need to pay attention, because there's something wrong with your understanding of leadership. Okay. So leadership, we're going to find out, is not the same as headship. All right. Headship is different from leadership. So what is important to understand is that the results you get in your marriage will be a function of your leadership. The results you get in your career will be a function of your leadership. Your ability to lead other people is going to be, okay, what will be responsible of, the kind of results you create. All right. So we want to talk about potential. Okay. And this is a quote by me. There's no potential in any marriage. There's no potential in any position. Okay. People come into places and fight for positions as if the position makes, is the thing that has potential. The only thing that have potential in life is human being. All right. So the people in the marriage are going to determine the potential of the marriage. The person in a position is going to determine the potential of that position. Okay. So if you see two great marriage, if you see a great marriage, it is very possible that you have two great people in that marriage. Okay, right? So I tell people, why do you have, two lawyers? They went to the same school, probably born into the same house, okay? But at the end of the day, okay, one is very successful and the other one is not. It is not the law profession that has a potential. The potential is the human being that is the lawyer. So there is no position have potential. Only human beings have potential. So therefore, the potential of any marriage is a function of the potential of the individuals that are in the marriage. And one of the things that make up your potential is your leadership ability. Okay. So success in life is limited without leadership. All right. Yeah. So, this is very clear. The Bible says two is better than one. Why? Because they have great reward, for their labor. But if I am in a relationship and I don't know how, to take advantage of the value, that the other person brings to the table, in spite of the fact that we are two, I will be limited. All right. So success is limited without leadership. So here we look at the relationship between, personal dedication and when you have leadership. Okay, so the first one is, let's assume you are very good individually, in all that you can do. So you can see what your level of effectiveness is, okay, very narrow. Your success dedication, your personal ability to make success on your own is very good, is about 8.5 or thereabout, but your leadership is less than 2. So you can see how much your effectiveness is. But if you raise your leadership, in addition to your personal dedication, you can see how much result you can get. You can see how much effective you can get. As a matter of fact, if you are to put figure in this, you're probably going from 20% to 600%. So leadership ability determines, okay, the result you are going to get with your, because the Bible says 2, okay, is better than 1. Why? They have great reward. So it's about what you can do out of your marriage. It's about the assignment that God has brought the two of you together, to achieve. And, here we are saying that one of the elements that we need to make the most of the union is our leadership ability. That's one key element that we need to make the most, okay, of our marriage, to make the most of two coming together as one, to achieve great result as far as their calling is concerned, as far as, their purpose in life is concerned. So why leadership? We say leadership ability is the lead, is the cap that determines the person level of effectiveness. The lower an individual's ability to lead, the lower the lead on his potential. The higher the individual ability to lead, the higher the lead on the potential. To give you an example, if your leadership rate is an 8, then your result and effectiveness can never be greater than a 7. Your leadership ability, for better or for worse, always determine your effectiveness and the potential impact of yourself and your organization. But in this case, the potential impact of your marriage. Okay. All right. So how do you determine your leadership qualities? There are 21 qualities that you use. You can take a picture of this if you want. Okay, so what do you do with it? It has to do with your character. It has to do with your charisma. It has to do with commitment. It has to do with your communication. It has to do with your competence, your courage, your ability to discern, okay, without data, you know, your focus, your generosity, your initiative, your listening ability, your passion, your positive attitude, your problem-solving skill, your relationship, how much responsibility you take, how secure you are, how self-disciplined you are, you know, your servanthood, how teachable you are, and your vision. Okay, so what you are expected to do if you have this is to put between between zero and 10 what you score yourself personally in all these in 21 characters, between 0 and 10. Okay, so at the end of the day, you need to sum up everything, okay, and divide by 21. So whatever you put yourself, whatever number you get will determine your lead, okay, on your leadership, you know, lead. All right. Yeah. So sometimes we are not true to ourselves. So what you can do also is to give this to someone that is very close to you, you know, to score you. I don't know how many of us have done, you know, 360-degree feedback before. That means is that you get feedback from your peers, you get feedback from people above you, and you get feedback from people below you. All you want to achieve, you know, is to get feedback. So again, you know, where, you know, people that have scored you far lower than what you score yourself, you might have, you know, an overestimated ego about yourself. You might be overrating yourself in that area, okay? Where people that know you score you higher, right? But where, you know, your scores are the same, it is an indication that, because at the end of the day, people will tell about your leadership ability. You know, I think John Maxwell has said that when you think that you are leading and there's nobody following you, what you are doing is that you are taking a walk. When you think that you are leading and nobody is following you, you are just taking a walk. So leadership is about, measure of leadership is about followership. So you can do that, okay? So ask those close to you to grade you on your lead, evaluate and consider similarities and differences, go back to 21 qualities and find where you can make the greatest impact by growing. It's about growth. You actually grow in leadership. You don't earn leadership. You grow into it. You don't get appointed into leadership. Okay, you can get appointed into a position, but you don't get appointed into leadership. You know, you can get appointed, you know, you can marry and become a husband, but that does not automatically make you, you know, the leader. We're going to find out. Okay, so remember to walk your strength. This is, you know, one of the advices that I've been given, okay, while I was much younger, growing up, working under teachers and all that. And it says, work on your weakness. Yes, that advice is true if it is a character weakness. Okay, so if it's a character weakness, everyone must work on their character weaknesses. But when it comes to your gifting, when it comes to your area of strength, what you are good at, okay, you know, my advice is don't bother, you know, on your weakness. All you need to do is staff your weakness. So when you grow, you need to grow in your area of strength, all right? When you grow, so for example, you can imagine that I want to be a singer and I want to invest, you know, all my money growing as a singer when I don't have the talent of singing, okay? I will be wasting my time, I'll be wasting my resources, I'll be wasting everything, you know, but so you need to know area where you're strong, and that's the area of growth, all right? So remember to work, you know, to your strength. You know, value experience with reflection. Again, another advice you might have heard is that experience is the best teacher. But yet, you know, people repeat the same mistake over and over and over and over and over and over again, all right? So experience is not the best teacher, okay? Only evaluated experience that is the best teacher, all right? I used to work, you know, for a community of coaches, you know, all over. I actually went for one conference in Florida, okay? And I thought that the conference was great, all right? But after the conference, the organizers came to us and said, we discovered that we made 70 mistakes in this conference. So how did they find out that they made 70 mistakes? Because they evaluated, okay, the activity of the day. And it says in the next day event, we're going to correct these 70 mistakes. So there's no way that you will know, okay, without, reflection. So it's called evaluated experience. It's called experience with reflection. So one of the key things that you need to learn, is reflection. So after this event, for example, I'm going to go back and reflect and say, what did I do well? What didn't I do well? So why would that reflection be important? Because, I can repeat, I can know what I did well, and I'll be able to repeat it again, all right? And I can know what I did wrong and be able to avoid it, all right? So yeah, you need to reflect and value experience with reflection. The only experience that teaches, that is a teacher, okay, is evaluated experience, okay? So how do you raise your leadership lead? Which is why I said it's not a title, it's not a position, because you can actually raise it. You can be in a position and raise it, okay? The first thing is you need to invest in developing yourself. You need to invest in mentorship and coaching. I'm not sure, how many of us here have a career coach. It's expected that for every venture, you must have, a mentor, a coach. So in your marriage relationship, it might be what we call counselors or whatever, but you must have people who, are doing ahead of you, who you can learn from, who you can go to, for some experience to be able to know, how to do it better. Mastermind is a group of 1 or 2 people, who are going in the direction where you are going, and you can come together, and compare notes. So mastermind is the way to grow. What mastermind does, mastermind fulfill scripture that says, 2 shall agree concerning anything here on earth, and heaven will do it for them. So when you come together, in a minds in harmony, you find out that you generate idea for growth, that cannot be attributed to anybody. So in that mastermind, if I suggest something, what I suggest will trigger another idea in the minds of another person, okay? And before you know it, heaven will give you an idea for improvement. So mastermind is very important. Do something beyond yourself, okay? Do it afraid. In the John Maxwell team, we say, dive and grow wings. If you really want to grow, you need to, because growth is only in the place of tension, okay? If you come into a place and you are always number 1 in your class, you are in a place where you are not growing, okay? Because there are no tension. But when you come to a place where almost everybody is bigger than you and you feel uncomfortable, that is the place of growth. So do something beyond yourself. Reflect on who has, been a lead lifter in your life, and what did they do for you? What character makes them a lead lifter? So you know the character that are important to you. Okay, one of the characters that, Pastor Shijo emphasized this night is respect, and maybe we'll have time, to look at it. Then make a stop doing list. A lot of people make to-do lists, okay, but they never make a stop doing list. What are those things in your life that you must stop? Okay, you need to list them. And these are some of the ways that you can raise your leadership abilities. Summary: how well you lead determine how successful you will be. Your leadership ability will put a lead on your potential. Therefore, you are going to be as successful as far as your leadership ability. So we're going to understanding leadership. We want to understand it. So we have looked at the why of leadership. The why of leadership is that, okay, the result you are going to get from your marriage, the result you are going to get from your career, the result you are going to get from your business, the result you are going to get from any endeavor whatsoever will be a function of your leadership ability. So what is leadership? And this is where a lot of people missed it up, okay? So what is leadership? All right? So you can see through these 2 couples, everybody is confused. So what does it mean to lead in this situation, okay? Who is leading here, all right? Maybe let me stop and ask so that I can get your input, okay? Do you believe that leadership is the same as headship? Let me get your feedback. Do you believe that leadership is the same as headship? Okay, because the Bible says the man is the head of the woman. Okay, does that make the man the leader of the woman? Because that's a word that's been abused in Nigeria, okay, and mostly by people who don't understand leadership. Okay, are we there? Is somebody chatting? Okay, no, it is not. Okay, okay, no, I don't believe leadership is same as headship. Thank you. No, it's not at all. Okay, so we're going to look at the differences as we go ahead. All right. Okay, so the next question I ask is this: if you agree that leadership is not the same as so let's check this out. Okay, yeah. So look at this guy. This guy, you know, is trying to pull the horse. All right. Yeah, they say you can pull the horse to the river, but you can't force the horse, you know, to drink water. So this is what this guy is doing. Then we'll look at the second picture I have here. Okay, the red guy is just on his own. He's just moving, and the other guys are just following him. So why do you think this guy is ahead and others are following him willingly, and the other guys, nothing, you know, he has to pull the donkey for the donkey to ever do anything? What do you think, you know, is the difference? Okay, what's the difference between this guy and the other guy? Any taker in the house? I need you to be part of this, okay? Okay, so Joy said he can lead. Okay, Hannah said the red guy has leadership skill. Okay, the red guy is a leader. The letter is a leader. Okay, all right. Okay, yeah. Supposing, I mean, the guy with the horse, okay, he possesses some skill. He's a motivator. Okay, leadership is what the second one is showing. Joseph was the second to the last born, a slave, a prisoner. The red guy is not forceful. Yeah, okay. All right, so at least you understand that leadership is not to apply force. He has what it takes to lead. He's a leader. Okay, so let's go ahead. Thank you for your feedback. Interesting. Okay, thank you for your feedback. Let's just go ahead. So let's look at what leadership is not. Okay, okay. So leadership versus, you know, headship. All right. Some of us have said, okay, headship. As far as marriage is concerned, okay, headship is automatically conferred on the man. Okay, as far as, you know, the Bible is concerned, as far as Christian is concerned, the headship is automatically conferred upon the man. But leadership is not automatically conferred. Okay, as a matter of fact, we're going to see that. So what leadership is not? True leadership cannot be awarded, it cannot be appointed, it cannot be assigned. Okay, so the fact that they appoint you as a head of parastatal, they appoint you as a minister, it doesn't automatically make you a leader. Okay, true leadership cannot be awarded, it cannot be appointed, or it cannot be assigned. I like the men, you know, to take note here. Okay, the fact that the Bible says that yes, you are a head, the Bible, you know, conferred on you headship, okay, but leadership cannot be conferred on you. We're going to see that as we continue. It comes only from influence, and that cannot be mandated. It must be earned. Okay, so it's important that I differentiate the difference between headship. Headship can be, by the reason of the fact that you are a man in a marriage, you are the head. Okay, but leadership cannot be awarded, it cannot be appointed, it cannot be assigned. It comes only from influence, and that cannot be mandated. It must be earned. Okay, the only thing a title can buy you is a little time, but it either increase your level of, of influence with others, or undermine your influence with others. Okay, so when you take the position of headship, it gives you, okay, an opportunity for influence. It gives you an opportunity for leadership, but it doesn't confer the role of a leader on you. So again, I give you another example. You can have a team, okay, where you have the head of the team, okay, but that is not the person they listen to, all right? There's somebody here who will ask for a change within your team, okay, and people will comply, and the one at the top, if he asks for a change, people will not comply. The one that they comply, when he asks for a change is the leader, not the one that was awarded the title as the head of the department or whatever, okay? So we're going to see this as we continue. So the first question I asked is, can a wife lead her husband? Okay? Can a wife lead her husband? And why? Why? It looks like the women, this is not a women's meeting, we are just sharing the truth. Yeah? Okay, if she's graced, yes, with respect, yes, sir. Okay, some people have added with respect, okay, yeah? So once you add with respect, it shows that there's something wrong with your understanding of leadership, okay? Because a leader naturally will lead with respect, okay? Yeah, so a leader naturally will lead with respect. A wife can lead if she is wise, okay, yes, because of leadership quality, okay, as you have highlighted. Yes, woman can lead, the man is the head, she leads, okay? So, okay, I will go further, even though I've been asked not to use this again, but I just go further. Let me know what you think. Can a man lead God? What do you think? Can a man lead God? Okay, all right. So the same people that say a man can lead a woman say no, a man can. No, 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 no. Yeah. Okay, no. Kemi said no. Kemi said no. Okay, yeah, no, 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 no. Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, no, no, a man cannot lead God. Okay. A man can't lead God. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's stop it like that. Yeah. I got the feedback I want to get. All right. God can only lead man. A man cannot lead God. Yeah. So again, your understanding of God is very correct. God is the omnipotent. God is the omniscience. God is the all-sufficient God. God is the all-powerful God. I agree with you. Okay. But where we have problem, which is what we want, God is all sufficient in himself, which we have problems with is leadership. That's the knowledge that's the place where we have issues with. So I need you to pay attention tonight, okay? I need you to pay attention tonight. So we're going to resolve whether a man can lead God or not, okay? All right, so what does it mean? What is leadership? Leadership means to lead, means to touch the hearts so that you can ask for the hand. That's what leadership means. To touch a heart so that you can ask for the hand. Okay, that's what it means to lead. All right, and it's called connection. Okay, so you connect to influence. To touch the heart is to connect, and to ask for the hand based on the connection is influence. Okay, so leadership is about connecting so that you can influence. All right, and what is it to me? Does it mean to connect? To connect is to touch the heart, and you want to use that connection to influence, okay, somebody. All right, so you find out that, so the question is, can a man touch the heart of God so that he can ask for the hand of God? Okay, is somebody answering me? Can a man touch the heart of God so that he can ask for the hand of God? Okay, somebody say yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, 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 okay, okay. So I can touch the heart of God so that I can ask for his hand. Okay, yeah, so I can't use power to ask God to act, but I can touch the heart of God so that God can act. So leadership is touching the heart, so that you can ask for the hand. Leadership is connecting so that you can influence people to act willingly, okay? And they will tell you, I am doing this because of you, okay? So that's what leadership means. It means to touch the heart. So let's look at Acts chapter 22, okay, Act 13, 21 and 22. And afterward, they desired a king, and God gave unto them Samuel, the son of Cis, a man of the tribe of Benjamin, by the space of 40 years. In verse 22, he said, okay, and when he had removed him, he raised up unto them David to be their king, to whom also he gave testimony and said, I have found David, the son of Joseph, a man after my own heart, who will fulfill all my will. Okay, so this is David that God is confessing that touches my heart. He said he will do everything that I want. Okay, all right. So this is what they call connection. God, David touched the heart of God, so David can ask for the hand of God. All right. Okay. Genesis 22. And the angel of the Lord, called unto Abraham out of heaven the second time and said, because by myself have I sworn, said the Lord, for because thou hast done this thing, and thou hast not withheld thy son, thy only son, it says that in blessing I will bless thee, and in multiplying I will multiply thy seed as the stars of the heaven, and as the sun which is upon the seashore, and thy seed shall possess the gates of his enemy. So what happened? Okay, Abraham touched the heart of God, okay, with obedience. Okay, and what happened? God moved the hand of God, and God says, in blessing I will bless thee, in multiplying I will multiply thy seed as stars of the heaven. Okay, so you can see that, and in thy seed shall all nations of the earth be blessed. Why? Because thou hast done what? Obeyed my voice. So, Abraham used obedience to touch the heart of God, okay, so that he can ask for the hand. All right. So you find out that if you understand leadership properly, a son can lead his parents. Okay. Leadership is nothing less but influence. Okay. So I can touch the heart of my father so that, willingly my father can do whatever I want. I can touch the heart of Pastor Shiju, so that Pastor Shiju would find me, we have a soft spot for me and always do what I want. So that is what leadership is all about, okay? It is to touch the heart, okay, so that you can ask for the hand. So does anybody understand what leadership means now? And I ask the question again, based on your new understanding, can a man lead God? Okay, Kemi, your yes, your no has turned to yes. Okay, so, yes. So I want to believe that you now have a good understanding, okay, based on the definition. I mean, there's no two definition of leadership. Leadership is influence, okay, all right? So it's only when you have, the mentality of rulership, okay? Rulership is different from leadership. You can rule a people, but that's not leadership. A man can't lead God by touching the heart of God to ask for the hand of God. That's what leadership is, it's influence. So let's look at, so that we can have a better understanding, let's look at the elements of leadership. So what are the elements of leadership? Okay, all right, there are three elements of leadership. The first one is connection, the second one is influence, and the third one is common good. So what do that mean? So you touch the heart, okay, that is, that's influence, that's connection. So that you can ask for the hand, that's influence. But the purpose you are touching the heart to ask for, is for common good. Are you following that? So the purpose that you are touching the heart of your husband so that you can ask for the hand is for the collective good of the marriage. It's not for selfish reason. So the moment selfishness comes in, you have lost your influence. Okay? So it will always be for common good. I connect, I touch your heart so that I can ask for your hand so that it can be better for collectively for everyone. But once you do this for selfish reason, okay, you will lose your influence and you'll not be able to lead. The moment people know that you are touching the heart, so that you can influence for personal benefit, for selfish gain, you lose your influence and you lose your leadership. Okay, so let's look at leadership motivation. Okay, so what motivates the connection? So you connect so that you can influence for common good. Okay, all right. So let's look at it. All right. Okay, so we have leverage. So what can you leverage in marriage? All right. What can you leverage in marriage? Sex, money, or influence. Okay, all right. So this is how it works. Some women leverage sex. Okay, you know, you say, I will not sleep with, I'm sure there are adults here. Okay, you want to get something from your husband and you leverage sex. That's not influence. Okay, the man, maybe you are more, you have more endowed financially and you always use money to get what you want. Okay, personally, that is not, you know, influence. Okay, all right, but you can actually leverage this for common good. But if it's for personal good, it's not influence. Okay, so you cannot leverage for influence, but you can leverage for connection. Okay, so if, okay, you use sex, okay, to touch the heart of your husband, okay, that would be a good leverage. If you use money to touch the heart of your spouse, that is a good leverage. So the connection leads to the influence. It's not that you are using the leverage to influence. I'm not sure whether we understand the difference. Okay, you can't leverage for influence, but you can leverage for connection. So when I have a position, okay, as the head, what should I leverage my head to do? Is to touch the heart. It's not to ask for the hand. Okay, so I will allow my connection to influence. I will not leverage money. I will not leverage position. I will not leverage what's called sex for influence. I can only leverage it for connection and I allow my connection to influence. Okay, all right. 1 John 3:6. Okay, so hereby perceive we love God. We are the love of God because he laid down his life for us, and we also lay down our lives for others. And the reason we lay down our life is for connection, and connection leads to influence, and the influence is for common good. I don't know whether anybody is getting anything here. Okay, all right. Are you still with me? Let me have a confirmation that we're still on the same page. Are you getting value? Okay, all right. So it is very, very important. If you need to understand, okay, excellent. Let me thank you. Omolola, thank you. Mary Ubok, thank you. Olajumoka, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. All right. Okay. All right. Absolutely. So I'm glad that you are with me. Okay. So please, whatever God endow you with, don't use it for influence, use it for connection. You know, as a leader, is the heart you touch that should be the basis of influence, of asking for the heart. And the goal should always be for common good of all. The goal must always be for, not for selfish reason, but for common good. Okay. All right. So this is, you know, where, yeah. Okay. All right. So what is leadership? True measure of leadership is influence. Nothing more, nothing less. You touch the heart, you connect so that you can ask for the hand. Do we have a better understanding of leadership now? So leadership is to touch the heart, to ask for the hand. That's the summary. Touching the heart is called connection, and asking for the hand is called influence. The true measure of leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. However, everyone communicates, but only few connect. Everyone communicates, only few touch the heart. Okay, I don't know how much time we are. We have one section. I don't know whether we should go ahead. Pastor Boy, I don't know whether we have time. The next thing we're supposed to look at is how to connect. Okay, leadership.
I think we still have some time, sir. Please go.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, sir. Okay, so I guess you are here to connect. So leadership and connection. So you find out that one primary responsibility of leadership is connection, touching the heart. Okay, touching the heart, touching the heart, touching the heart. Okay, touching the heart. So maybe let me pause here and ask, what do you think you can do to your spouse to touch his heart or her heart? Okay, let's get your feedback. What do you think? How do you think you can connect? How do you think you can touch the heart? Okay, how do you think you can touch the heart of your spouse? Okay, be a good family, respect him or her. Okay, respect, being supportive. Okay, being very thoughtful. Okay, respect him or her. Okay, we want more. We want more. Okay, appreciation. Okay, appreciate your genuinely okay, being trustworthy, humility, value him, okay, doing what he likes, surprise him with gifts, understanding, okay, respect, excellent, 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 excellent. Okay, the next time I go somewhere to teach, I will take you all as my mobile audience. Thank you very much. This is a fantastic audience. Okay, all right, okay. Thank you, thank you. Positive affirmation, love, caring, awesome, okay. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Showing tolerance, empathy, reliability, excellent. Okay, all right. Care both for him and his family members. So you know these things, right? Okay. Support his goals and dream, excellent. Support him, respect him. So you can imagine that if all you do is dedicate yourself as either as husband, as wife doing this, what do you think the other party, how do you think the other party will reciprocate? The Bible says, give, and it shall be given back to you, pressed down, shaking together, running over, okay? So imagine that in that relationship, all your concentration is to touch the heart. Then you'll be a good leader, okay? Imagine that when you're working with your team, all your concentration, being teachable, being his partner, excellent, okay? So let's look at what we have here. Not taking him for granted. Maintain what attracts him or her to you in the first place. Excellent. Okay, you need to maintain it. All right. Okay, so let's continue. Thank you very much for your feedback. So facts about connection. Let's look at some facts about connection. Okay, the first one is that we have to touch the heart before we ask for the hand. Okay, and that's why, for example, okay, even in marketing, it's called the cold market and the warm market. All right, okay, so you know that you cannot sell to the cold market. Why? Because you have not warmed the heart. All right, yeah, so that's where they got cold market and warm market from. All right, so that's why, you know, it's difficult that I met a girl for the first time and I took the girl out for a date and I say, marry me, without knowing anything about, you know. But if you have warmed the heart sufficiently by touching the heart, when you say marry me, you know, she will raise her both hands and say, I'm yours forever. Okay, so facts about that, you have to touch the heart first before you ask for the hand. And the first heart you must touch is your own heart. Okay, love your neighbor as you must touch your own heart. Okay, all right, very important, very important. Are you sure of yourself? Do you love yourself? Because you can't love somebody else if you don't love yourself. Do you value yourself? Do you respect yourself? Okay, all right? You can't respect others if you don't respect yourself. So you don't even understand the meaning of respect if you don't respect yourself. So the first heart you must touch is your own heart. We cannot lead others to places we've never been ourselves. Okay, so if you have never been to a place of respect, you can't respect others. Okay, if you have never been to a place of love, you can't love others. Okay, if you've never been to a place of appreciation, you can't appreciate. You cannot lead others to places where you have never been yourself. Okay, so the first place to start is know your giftedness, know your purpose. Okay, remember I've said before, if you have character weaknesses, deal with them. Okay, but you need to know your gift. You know, you need to do a SWOT analysis of yourself and know your strength, because you are going to connect from your position of strength. You can only give what you have. So you are going to connect from your position of strength. So for example, in your WhatsApp group, how much value do you give? Do you even think you have value yourself? Okay, all right? Okay, do you even think you have value yourself? All right, are people aware of your gifting? And the only way they can be aware, you need to give it. You need to demonstrate it. You need to show it. Okay, so know your giftedness, know your purpose, you know, your God-given DNA. Okay, they can't go along with you until they get along with you. That's why the warming of the heart is important. Going along with you is where they lead you. They say you are taking a walk if nobody follows you. You are not leading. So they need to get along with you. You need to warm their hearts, okay, before they can go along with you. Very important, okay, all right? So you don't just get somebody, you know, like a cold market and you said you want to sell for the person. Okay, they need to get along with you, okay, so that they can go along with you. So do you add the question, how can I help you? That's the first place to start. You want to connect, is about helping the other person. How can I help you? That question will open you for connection. How may I help you? Okay, all right? Even though it's your job, present it as if you want to help. How may I help you? How can I help you? Okay, so the question I ask again, are you connected with yourself? Before you connect with others, you must first connect with yourself. Okay, so these are facts about connection. Okay, action. This is an assignment. Reflect on your connection with yourself. Please reflect with your connection with yourself. Are you in conflict with yourself? Are you at peace with yourself? Because it will show. With others, it will show. If you are not at peace with yourself, you show with others. Okay, ask yourself, what is my greatest asset? Because that's what you're going to use to connect. Okay, as a matter of fact, this is an area you need to develop. Okay, and I'm sure we know the parable of talents. Okay, your assignment in life is actually to trade your talents. Okay, because at the end of the day, God will ask you, if you decide to hide your talents, you wicked and slothful servants. No, okay? Yeah, so what is your greatest asset? You need to do a SWOT analysis yourself and always put your asset forward. That's the way to connect. Okay, always put your greatest asset forward. All right, okay, so am I applying my strengths? All right, it is not acceptable for you to be in Connecntnow group and nobody knows that you are there. Am I applying my strengths? How can I use this strength to benefit others? It's always about the other person. Okay, it's always about the other person. I used to teach a course that they call penetrating the market. Okay, you're going to use your gifting to penetrate the market. How can you use this strength to benefit others? How well do I relate and communicate with others? So relationship is about touching the heart. Communication is about speaking with your mouth. Okay, and that's where they say everybody communicates, but only few, connect, because that relationship part is not there. That warming of the heart part is not there. All right. So if it is only verbal communication and there's nothing that is warming the heart that you are doing, okay, you are not connecting. Okay. Do I like me? Am I likable? So how do you or can you speak to their hearts? We're going to look at it. So every time you speak, a lot of people speak about themselves. The other person is not interested in you. Everybody is interested in themselves. So if you actually want to connect, you need to speak to their heart. You need to speak to what is important to them. You need to speak to what they value. And that's where respect is not about kneeling down or, or wherever. Respect is putting value on somebody. And one of the ways you put value on somebody is to put value on what is important to them. That's respect. Okay, you need to put value on the things that they value, on the things that are important to them. You need to put value on them. So you need to connect. You need to learn to put value on people. Okay, you need to speak to their heart. How do they know? How do they feel? Okay, so you need to know how they know. You need to know how they feel. Okay, and this is one of the qualities of leadership, which is intuition. Without data, you can read the morale of people. Okay, but you need to be interested in people to be able to read their morale. If you are not interested in people, you won't be able to know how they feel. Okay, so you need to know, how they feel. So how do they know that you care? How do they know that, they are important to you? How do they know that, that you actually appreciate them? How do they know that you are in that relationship for their good? How do they know? How do they feel? That's how you connect. Okay? Yeah, so, we'll take your questions after the whole thing. So what can I do as a leader to project my sincerity and add value to others? It's about sincerely adding value to others with your strength. That's connection. Okay, all right. So I want to live a lifestyle of just adding value. Okay, so what can I do as a leader to project my sincerity and add value to other people? Okay, all right. So what is value? Value is first who you are. Okay, value is first who you are. Value is what you have. Okay, all right. We have talked about your strength. This can be represented by your skill, your knowledge, your product, your services. Not, value is first who you are. Okay, all right? Because you can't keep standard if you are not a person of standard. You can't keep quality if you are not a person of quality. So value is first who you are. Value is what you have. Okay, this can be represented by your skill, your knowledge, your product, and your services. Value is what you do or give, and how you use what you have. That's value, to make the life of others better. That's value, all right? And value is how others perceive you. Okay, listen to this. If you are in business, people don't buy product or services. People buy people. Okay, they don't buy product or services. They buy people. The first thing they want to buy is you. Okay, all right. So are you valuable? That's the question I ask. So people buy from the people they know, people they like, and people they trust. How do they know you? How do they like you? How do they trust you? Is connection. Touch their heart about them, being sincere, being authentic. People buy into people they know, they like, and they trust. Okay? So how do I connect? We are running up now. Okay? The first one is authenticity is a trait people are looking for. Okay? People are looking for authentic people. All right? Very important. So that's why you have to connect with yourself first. You have to be authentic. You have to be authentic from your true self. You see, people don't heed the call of a certain trumpet. Once you are not authentic, people can feel it, and they will not heed your call. Okay, so which means that you are not able to lead. Be confident and be yourself. That's what authenticity is all about. If you do not believe in who you are and where you want to lead, work on that first. So where do you want to take the other person to? Where are you going to? Do you have a vision for your life? Do you know where you want to go in life? Do you know? So how would you enter marriage when you don't know where you want to go? So you want the other party to take you wherever, all right? So you must know where you want to go, okay? If you do not believe in who you are, if you don't believe in where you want to lead others, work on that first and foremost. Very important. 2, so the first one is know who you are, connect with yourself first. Okay, the second one is communicate with openness and sincerity. Whether it's business connection, whether it's marriage connection, this is very important, okay? Here, there's a quote here that says, nothing is more effective than sincere, accurate praise, and nothing is more lame than cookie cutter compliments, okay? So if you give compliment that is not sincere, one of the icebreakers when you meet people, okay, is just study them and find something sincerely good about them and appreciate it sincerely from your heart. Once you do that, you have broken the ice. You can connect, you have find something very, you are not lying about it, you are not faking it. You have studied and observed the person, and you have seen something that is authentic, that is of value in them, that is good about them, and you appreciate that thing. Okay, all right? Nothing is more effective than sincere, accurate praise. So appreciation of the good aspect of them. So which means that all you are doing to connect is that you're not looking at people's weaknesses. You're not looking at people's faults. Okay, you are looking at their area of strength. You are looking at what is good about them, and you are magnifying what is good about them. You are connecting. Authentic leaders connect. Okay, so know your audience. Okay, so in this case, is the person you want to connect with, that's your audience. All right, knowing your audience means learn people's name. Okay, in fact, one of the things that people hate is not to be able to call themselves accurately. In the John Maxwell team, they used to teach us that, look, when you meet some people, Okay, you put down their names, you snap it, and you spend some time. You need to be deliberate about it. You know, trying to know the name, pronounce it appropriately and all that. And the next time you see them, you actually call them by their names. You are not forgetting, thinking, do I know the name of this person? Okay, so you need to know your audience. The first one is, you know, learning their names, finding out about their histories. Okay, even in marketing, if you go to somebody's house and you find areas of commonality, okay, and you begin to dwell in that, it looks like you can imagine that you are meeting somebody for the first time and you discover that you went to the same school, okay, and you concentrate on speaking about, you know, what both of you have in common. And that's why it's important. So immediately you have come to the same zone, you have connected, you know, because you have already have, even though you are meeting for the first time, okay, when you know their histories, you'll be able to find the things that you have in common, and you can, you know, and you can dwell on that. So ask about their dreams, all right? You know, in fact, people will listen to you if, you know, I mean, the truth is that when you are in a conversation, you want to connect, you don't speak. You ask questions about the other person and let the other person be talking, okay? There's nobody that doesn't want to talk about their dreams. In fact, they want to spend hours talking about their dreams, okay? So you need to ask about their dreams. Why? You want to speak to what they care about and not just what you care about. In fact, listen to me, and that's why I said that when we talk about leadership, it's not for, you know, for selfish gain. You need, if you want to actually connect, you need to take yourself out of the equation. You need to speak about what they care about and not just what you care about. It has to be about the other party you want to connect with, all right? Believe in them, very important, okay? People are looking for people that believe in them. So it is one thing to communicate to people because you believe you have something of value to say. It is another thing to communicate with people because you believe they have value. So this is respect. Okay, you are communicating with people not because I believe I have something to say, but I believe that you are communicating with people because you believe that they have value. Okay, one of the reasons that I'm here today, because I believe they are valuable. You have a lot of value, and that's why I'm sharing this. Okay, because the Bible says don't give jewel to swine. Okay, you only give jewel to people who have value. All right, so you need to communicate. You know, I mean, if you meet some people, okay, they just want to tell you that they are very bright, they are very intelligent, they are very, that's nonsense. You can't connect with that. Okay, but if you want to connect, you need to talk to the person. Letting the person understand that you are relating with him because you believe that he's valuable. That's respect. You are putting value on the person, right? Okay, so people's opinion of us has less to do with what they see in us than it does with what we can help them see in themselves. This is also very powerful. That's why people believe in you. People's opinion of us has less to do with what they see in us than it does with what we can help them see in themselves. Okay? So, I mean, when you tell people that they are valuable, when you tell people that they have potential, you know, genuinely, when you tell people that they can do more than what they think they can do, you are helping them to see their potential, you know, and every time they need encouragement, every time they need, they will come to you, are connecting. Okay, all right? And note that this is not just to get married. Even when you get to the relationship, you need to, as a lifestyle, you need to keep connecting, all right? Okay, you need to keep helping your partner see value in him or herself all the time, okay? All right, why? Because people's opinion of us has less to do with what they see in us. It does have, what you help them see in themselves, all right? So offer direction and hope. That's another one. Offer hope, offer direction. Every time, offer hope, offer direction. People expect leaders to help them get to where they want to go. So in your marriage, help your husband get to where they want to go. Help your wife get to where she wants to get to. This is how you connect, okay? And this is how you stay connected, all right? Okay, connection is the leader's responsibility, okay? So if you think that you are the leader, that's your responsibility. And remember that the wife can be the leader, the husband can be the leader. It's about touching the heart. Okay, all right. So the question is, are you a true leader? Conclusion, all right. Trust is the foundation of leadership. I am concluding now. The essence of connection is to build trust so you can influence others. So once you have connection, you build trust and, you can influence others. Leaders cannot repeatedly, you cannot repeatedly break trust with people and continue to influence them. It will never happen. You cannot repeatedly break trust with people and expect to influence them. It will not happen. Okay, trust is like a change in the leader's hand. Every right decision you make, okay, as a leader, you add more change in your pocket, and every wrong decision you make, what happens? Your trust in your pocket depletes, and if you keep making the wrong move, what happens? You deplete your trust pocket until your pocket is empty of trust. So when you are out of trust, rather, when you are out of trust, not change, please. When you are out of trust, you are out as a leader. When you are out of trust, that change is supposed to be trust. When you are out of trust, you are out as a leader. Thank you very much. And I think at this time we can take questions. Okay, I hope I didn't waste your time tonight. All right.
Not at all, Pastor Hyacinth. Thank you so very much.
Yeah.
God bless you, sir. I don't know if we have questions. We applaud you, Pastor Hyacinth. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Tolu Lope has a question. Tolu Lope, can I ask admin and co please allow her to be able to mute herself? I'm assuming Tolu Lope might not be a woman. Tolu Lope, please unmute yourself and go ahead and ask your question. Tolu Lope Kunle.
Good evening.
Good evening, Tolu Lope. Yeah. We have the good evening.
Go ahead. Issues difficult to trust people, or you find it difficult to genuinely hand your trust over to people. That means it would affect everything consistently as a leader. You might not be an effective leader, or a relationship might not work because of that character. Or
can you take it again?
You try
I didn't hear the
build
beginning
the trust
of your
over time, or learn and unlearn to generate trust with people.
So look, can you start the question again?
My question is,
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, so sorry. I said
No problem.
that if you're a person that finds it difficult to trust people easily, or you have trust issues on a neutral ground, if anyone is telling you something, or you're finding out something, you find it difficult to expressly believe, you have to go scrutinizing and rechecking. Does this affect your leadership or roles in leadership and even in a relationship? How can you build your trust with the other party?
Okay, so so what that means is that you are difficult to lead. Okay, so there are two aspects of this now. So if you find it difficult to gain, to trust somebody, the person that actually have a problem is the other party who is trying to gain your trust. Okay, so that's the first thing to look at it. So which means that other party needs to do a lot, okay, for him to be able to gain your trust. All right, he needs to do more of touching of the heart. He needs to do more of being sincere. Okay, so the other party that is trying to gain your trust had to do more. Okay, all right. Yeah, so on the other side, okay, yeah, the other side of it is that you trying to gain the trust of other people, all right? Yeah, I don't know how that trait affects your effort to gain other people's trust. Does that make you do more to get other people's trust? That's one thing I'm going to ask, okay? Yeah, and again, you may need to go back to why that. Have your trust been broken before? Okay, if that's the case, we may need to heal and give people a chance. Okay, all right. So I want to suggest that you need to trace, what it might actually be affecting your relationship. Because Some genuine people will make effort to connect with you, okay? And because you hardly trust, you can lose the genuine man that is actually coming genuinely to trust with you. So, to try and connect with you. So what I would advise is that go deeply and find out, why that are there points, okay, where your trust was shattered. You trusted somebody and you shattered the trust. You need to dig deep, and we can take it outside this place, and discuss it. But you need to find out why, because it's going to affect, people leading you, people connecting with you, okay? Because your leading others is a function of what you do and how they believe what you do. So it might not actually affect your leading others, okay, but it would affect others leading you. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know whether I answered your question. Yeah.
Tolu, did you?
Okay, I think Tolu has been unmuted. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be muted rather. Okay, so possibly we can take the next person.
All right. There is Image Joseph.
You may go ahead.
Okay, my question, basically, my question was more in line what Tolu just said, but I want to ask another question with that. This issue of influencing, and there's a gray area when it comes to where do you put coercion? Coercion, like for instance, you want to get convinced as a leader, or as even in a relationship, or in even basically in life. But if you're here in a relationship and you're heading toward where you want to get somebody to do something, you're trying to coerce the person, you're trying to touch the person's hand, and the person is proving difficult.
So coercion is not. Yeah.
So maybe the word is motivate person.
Well, I won't say motivate. I use coercion because sometimes you want to get somebody to do something, and the person doesn't seem to. You don't seem to be seen eye to eye. So you have to, because maybe there's an urgency, or I won't say an urgency, but even like there's an urgency. This has to be done. So in that kind of situation, what is the length of time, the amount of how do you measure the amount of patience to get, you want to get something done at a particular time. Maybe you want to get your spouse or to understand something, and the person doesn't seem to understand it. So, and there seems to be there's a time frame, there's a time limit for this thing to be done. What is what I want to use, but I can't just.
Okay, so again, coercion will never do it. Okay, all right. Coercion will never do it. So what we do it also is that if you sit, you see, can you still see my screen?
We can't see your screen, but we can see you, but not your screen.
Okay, so let me share. Let me share my
slide.
screen. I didn't know that I lost it. Okay. Okay. So I shared this earlier. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. So the truth of the matter is that first and foremost, leadership is not an act. It's not something you do when you want, to get somebody's hand. It's a lifestyle. Okay. All right. In fact, you get to a point where you ask people to do what is not convenient. Okay. And they say, because of you, I'm going to do it. Okay. So it is not a moment by moment. So I want to get this person to do these things, so I need to do this so that they can do it. No, that's not it. Okay. So you are, your lifestyle is, touching the heart. That is a lifestyle, so that anytime you want them to bring their best to the table, okay, they are willing to bring their best to the table. So let's assume that, like you said, there's a deadline and you don't have the level of influence, okay, to do them. There are two options you have. You can use your position, to issue decrees and issue, and coerce and ask them to do it. That's one way. The other way is assuming that you put value in those people. The other way to go about it is to share about the outcome. What will be the common good? Okay, so if I ask you which one will be a better influence, why do you want to get that thing done? Is there a good outcome that will benefit everybody? Okay, is it better for you to explain the benefit of the outcome if you do it, and why, you know, the deadline, why the urgency? Don't you think that that will be better than saying that because there's a deadline, you know, I need to coerce you to do it? All right. Yeah. So for a good leader, the elements are there. So I can dwell on the common good. And once I can help you see the common good, you know, I can get you to act. I hope I answered your question. Excellent.
Thank you, Pastor Hyacinth. I hope you made that did justice to your clarified your inquiry. Omolola, can you unmute yourself and Omolola Ladili?
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Perhaps I could speak to Ime's question
Okay,
a little
please.
bit before I then ask my
Please go ahead.
own. I think perhaps that Ime is looking at leadership from a position of somebody up there and the other person down there, not as co-equals, as we hope to find in a relationship. You know, we are trying to connect with each other here. So that may bring the attitude of coercion into his paradigm. So really, I think perhaps that idea of trying to force may be as a result of not seeing the other person as a co-equal in the relationship. However,
not even a co-equal, as somebody is
Pastor
somebody
Hyacinth has also.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, sir. So I was now going to ask that since leadership is almost automatically conferred on the man,
no, leadership
is the head of the family.
No, leadership is not automatically conferred. Headship is automatically conferred.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
leadership
that
is not automatically conferred. Yeah, it's not, leadership is not automatically conferred. Okay, leadership has to be earned.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, it's not automatically
okay,
conferred.
Sir. Thank you, sir. Okay.
Headship is position,
that's
but leadership is not. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Yeah.
Was that Omalola's question, or I guess that clarifies your question? Aneke.
Good evening. Good evening, sirs. Thank you very much, Pastor Hyacinth. I've learned so much, not just for relationship, but also for office relationships. So the questions I have, I'll just go straight to them. So the first is tied to one of the earlier respondents' questions, because if you can just give like maybe 1 or 2 tips on how to maybe recover so that it doesn't affect your future relationships. Like me, for example, I trust by default, you know, and then it becomes very painful when like you trusted somebody and then like you find out that, oh, they're not trustworthy, they're cheating on you and all. And you realize that subconsciously, when you're going into another relationship, you've not totally, you know, forgotten that experience. So a lot of ladies and perhaps men may have similar experiences on this platform. So that's my first question. So maybe just 1 or 2 practical tips. Then the second question is that, okay, you love your spouse, you respect your spouse and all that, but because they are set in their ways, like I'll give an example. A number of men, when they are sick, they tend to do macho. They don't want to go to the hospital, but you see somebody has been ill for about 2 months, they're coughing and it's serious, and they will tell you, oh, they know they will recover. They've had cold many times and all that. So how do you, without acting like in coercion or force, because you love that person and you want them to get better, how do you go about, doing that? You've tried your best, you've convinced them, and they still don't want to go to the hospital, even though they are not better. So how do you?
Okay. So I can share practically, okay? For some of us men, all right, we learn to listen to our wives in a very hard way. Okay, all right. I have had to, lose a huge amount, as a lesson, to begin to actually listen to my wife. There was an investment I wanted to make, and she said I shouldn't. Okay, and over time, so what I would suggest is this. Okay, don't push it too hard. Sincerely, like the diagram that I'm sharing right now, always, and focus on the outcome, the common good. Okay, always make them understand that it's not because of what you want, it's for their good. Okay, so the moment you say it's for their good, they might not listen to you the first time, but I can tell you that they will hit the wall. By the time they hit the wall 1, 2, 3 times, 4 times, they will begin to realize that I need to listen to this woman more. But you need to stay consistent in doing what you know that is right. Okay, so that's the first one. I hope that answers your question. The second one is the issue of trust. The first thing I want to suggest to you is that, hello? Okay, I think they want us to break, Pastor Bayo, they want us to go into breakout session. Okay, we will take...
maybe one of the things that we should discuss is, or we just leave it free for people to discuss whatever.
You go ahead.
No,
let me...
I was gonna look at that.
My hand is up.
Oh, okay.
And it has been up for a long time.
Sorry, we didn't see it.
Yes, I thought you said you will not do it again. So I just want to chip in something, because I think you may be sending a confused people into breakout sessions.
Okay.
They are here for a relationship connect now. They want to connect with the idea of ending up in marriage. Now, you're saying leadership is different from headship.
Yes.
Is that the understanding with the African man? Does he think leadership is different from headship? Can, as a woman, someone once said, if you have a man who is forever making mistakes and you're trying to help them, maybe the woman does know better and he refuses. So, and you are not allowed to help or to lead, although you have a better business acumen. How do you propose in a relationship they reconcile? That's question number 1.
Okay.
Question number 2 to me is that trust, as you said, that when you lose trust, you lose headship.
Yeah.
If I'm correct.
You lose leadership. Yeah.
Leadership, fantastic. Yeah. So when you lose trust, you lose leadership. Now, they are going to come across certain things in marriage. If you get married and your spouse keeps on being unfaithful, is not ready to give up or change or have a turnaround, even though they may call themselves Christians, then a man who has broken or defiled the marriage bed now comes back to say that you are holding, let's say the woman decides, I'm not even doing, let him be sleeping with all the other people that he's been sleeping with anyway. How do you want the trust to be rebuilt, sir? How do you expect the trust to be rebuilt? I think in this topic should speak to men. I'm not sure the woman, the Christian woman, has a problem with a man leading and being the head. But I want to say something before you answer, sir. Let me tell women today, only your husband is the head to you, no other man. No other man. You can go and read, I think it's 1 Peter. Pastor Hyacinth, you can help me. I will refer you to 1 Peter 3:7. You can go also to Ephesians 5:22 to 23. And you can also read in conjunction 1 Corinthians 11. Your husband is definitely going to head and possibly lead the family. It may be difficult to break the two rules in relationships. That's what I'm trying to say. But the woman, sir, let me just say something. In the workspace, the one who was talking about coercion or whatever, in the workspace, no man in the marketplace or in the secular world, or even in the church setting is your head. Only your husband is the person that role belongs to. Respect is different. You can respect your leaders, those who maybe your pastors or whatever, but they are not the head over you. So please, a woman needs to be clear. Because if you don't know the boundaries, then you are going to have a lot of flirtation. You are going to have a lot of boundary breaking and so many things going on, all in the name of being Christians. Please, I want women to understand the rule. The man has been prescribed to be the head and possibly lead his family. And then all the things Pastor Hyacinth has said, love, respect, influence, and all that comes into play. And the woman is meant to just quietly try, although a lot of men will not give us the credit for what we have done. So I want you to answer, sir. In the marital setting, how does it work?
Okay. I think there are so many things that I've lost track for the first question. If you can remind me, ma, please. Sorry, ma.
The first question.
That, yes.
Go ahead, ma.
No, go ahead. Because I want to be sure.
Go ahead.
I think the first question is how to let men recognize, or how does a woman play? First of all, the head. Her head is her husband, only, and not every other man.
Yeah, so that's what, okay, let's take it one by one, okay? So if you look at the diagram I have here, okay, speaking to the men here, what we're supposed to do, with headship under sex and money is to use it, to touch the hearts of our children, of our spouse. Talking to the men now, okay? Yeah, so if you use your headship, to oppress because you are more powerful, then you are not leading. You can be ruling, but you are not leading. Okay? So what we should use the headship, speaking to the men here, is use our position of authority, our position of power to touch the heart of our wife. Okay, so that our wives, on their own, okay, can bring their best to the table for the common good of the family. I think that's what we are saying here, okay? So I agree with you that the problem here is more with the men, and I think that's why we are teaching it, okay? But the women also need to know that one of the power that they have, to influence their husband is the power of connection, okay? So instead of, trying to pay back, okay, it's just like, fighting with love. It's just like trying to get victory with love. It's also biblical. So you are using whatever you have, you are using the leverage. The man is using the position, to connect, to touch the heart of the, So it's something that both parties can dedicate their life to. And, we find out that we are influencing each other. So, so what we are saying basically is that leadership is influence. And the best way to influence is to touch the heart. and if so that you can ask for the hand. And the whole essence of it, this can be for the man, this can be for the woman. But I agree that, you know, in terms of how we are brought up as men, you know, we look at headship as rulership, okay, and we look at leadership as rulership, okay, and so we're trying to make sure that we issue command, we issue order, we issue, yeah, yes, those can get result, but what we are bringing to the table is that there's a better way, and the better way.
May I help out, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
The most excellent way is the way of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Yes, ma'am.
Where there's rulership or headship or leadership built on love,
yes,
sincerity, respect for one another.
Yes.
If the man is not necessarily going to be better than the woman, a man does not have to be richer than the woman. A man does not have to be more intelligent than the woman. But wherever you find love, wherever you find respect, wherever you find esteeming another as better than yourself, that marriage will thrive. So it's not about a position of struggle or whatever. Then women, men, let me tell you something. Trust is key to marriage. Please let me chat that. I need to trust you. I must trust you. I don't want to lose that place of trust. Trust is key. If I trust you, if I know you will do me no harm all the days of my life, as my marriage oath is going to say, or has said for those of us who are married, trust is key. You will love me in little, in sickness, in health, in wealth, in this, in that, whatever it is. It says, there's a song we sing, Lord, be thou their full assurance of tender mercy and steadfast faith. Keep chatting me and tell me I need to trust my spouse. I am the kind of person you can trust. Put it there. You can trust me. The woman with the issue of trust must have been so bastardized that she can trust no one. It is time to come back. From now on, I am trustworthy. Whoever you are going to go out with, you can trust them. Everybody on this platform, don't bring your bad self up. Bring your best possible self and change by the power of the Holy Ghost. You begin to change and you begin to become a new man. You become a new creation. I am trustworthy. I, Shiju, I know I am trustworthy. In my marriage, in my going out, I am singularly monogamous. I will never defile my marriage bed. I need that kind of person. Please keep chatting. Keep chatting. God bless you. Thank you so much, Pastor Hyacinth.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much.
I love what you said. If you can trust, then a lot of things will fall in place. Please esteem each other better than yourself, and the marriage will thrive by God's grace. Amen.
I think Pastor Siju just summarized connection to us, you know, in a language that we all understand. Thank you very much, man.